The sixth part of the serve is getting from the trophy pose to something called the racket drop, which is the first part of your forward swing up the tennis ball. And in this video, we're only going to focus on what the upper body is doing. Now here I am in the trophy pose, and let's first look at my racket and my hitting arm. I'm going to drop the tennis racket down behind my back so that the racket is pointed at the court. And this position is commonly called the scratch back position because it looks like I'm trying to scratch my back with the tennis racket. Also, if we rewind it to the trophy pose, watch my elbow. It comes up as I drop the racket down behind my back. If we go back to the trophy pose again, let's now take a look at my tossing arm. As my racket drops down behind my back, I just let my tossing arm fall straight down. I don't really want to focus on it other than just letting it come down. And finally, again in the trophy pose, my tossing shoulder is a little bit higher than my hitting arm shoulder, but when I get to the racket drop here, my shoulder should be about level, and I also want my body to be sideways to the net, or in other words, I want my body facing the side fence. Let's look at some pictures of the pros transitioning from the trophy pose to the racket drop. We'll start with Serena Williams, and this is a picture of her in her trophy pose. Let's move in on her upper body. She's got her tossing arm extended straight up in the air. Her racket and her hitting arm are in an L, and her tossing arm shoulder is higher than her hitting arm shoulder. But in this next clip, now she's transitioning from the trophy pose to the racket drop by dropping the tennis racket down behind her back, and at the same time she's dropping her tossing arm down. She's just letting it fall down. And that gets her to the racket drop in this next picture here, where the racket is pointed down at the court behind her, again, kind of like she's scratching her back with the tennis racket. Her elbow has come up, her tossing arm has continued to fall, her shoulders have leveled out, and her upper body is sideways to the net, maybe facing the side fence. Now let's move on to John Isner and see how he transitions from the trophy pose to the racket drop. Here he is in the trophy pose. He's got his tossing arm extended up, racket and hitting arm in the L, and tossing arm shoulder is higher than his hitting arm shoulder. And in this next picture, he's transitioning just like Serena. He's begun to drop the racket behind his back. Tossing arm is falling, and that gets him to the racket drop here, where the racket's pointed down at the court behind him. His elbow has come up. His tossing arm has continued to fall. His shoulders have leveled out, and his upper body is now sideways to the net.